Good morning, guys. So happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. I have duty today, 24 hours, and then I work until 4 tomorrow. So pray for me. Pray. I'm on my way to work in the traffic, the usual pre. So what has been going on with you guys? So the latest thing I saw on Twitter was about, there was a post made on someone's Instagram page called Anna, the money coach, Anna Palomino. She has our YouTube channel here, and she basically was saying that $480,000 is the minimum that a Jamaican needs to live here in Jamaica. And obviously we know people live on minimum wage, and minimum wage is like what, 8,500 per week. So people live on minimum wage, so obviously the 8.5 cannot be the minimum. $480,000 cannot be the minimum because people are living on less. But there was so much pandemonium because someone took her Instagram post. I saw it on Twitter, as I said. I saw it on Twitter. Someone took her Instagram post, screenshotted it, and put it on Twitter and said, "Do you agree with Anna?" And everybody was just like so offended. It's tone deaf. It's an issue. I saw it on Twitter, right? And everybody was just so offended. It was just like, I'm just looking and I'm wondering, why is everybody so offended? We all know that $480,000 is not the minimum. And then she gave context to what she thought the minimum a Jamaican needs to survive. And what she was describing was really a comfortable life, but everybody was just so offended that she was being and saying that she was being tone deaf, and how she was being offensive, and how she was being rude and inconsiderate. And I'm just kind of like here confused, because at the end of the day she made a post on her Instagram for her audience, and she's a wealth coach for her audience. So the people who either follow her or are her clients are the one who she made this post target. And I'm just like, you're taking an isolated post out of a context, because nobody saw the story before, nobody saw the story after. I didn't see the story before, I didn't see the story after. I didn't know if there was any preamble. I didn't know if what was going on, if this was, because I think at the end of the day she was like, oh, 480k is the minimum, and if you're on Instagram you need to come off of Instagram and go do some work. Now I understand some people's perspective, where they thought it was more alluding to hustle culture, where if you're not you're just overworking, work yourself to death. Because she did say at the end, if you come from work and you're not working on, you're working on something else for try and make the money, then you need to come off of social media. And as someone said, I found it funny, you need to come off of social media with a little bit of money. But I get that is, I can understand, a lot of people say they come home, they work very hard, and you're in a hustle culture, and we are working hard, a lot of us work hard, but the fact still remains, I don't understand why everybody was so upset. I personally was more upset that 480k was not the standard, like that everybody have to be out here. And I felt so disheartened, because there are so many people who literally looked and said like that they never felt like they could make that working their jobs, or they don't feel like. And I'm just like, and people don't realize that the system is the problem. Like, everybody's so upset because Anna said what is her bare minimum, and nobody is upset about the fact that people in Jamaica work very hard and are still struggling, and that is my issue, right? Let's get back to the Anna issue. So the other issue is everybody's upset because she said 480k, and the thing about it is I didn't get it. Like, I understood the people who were saying, it's a hustle culture mentality, people need rest, they've just done work. That is a point. But the people who were saying and making it seem like it was a personal attack that is where I didn't understand. Like, it's not a personal attack. You know what I mean? She didn't say to Tom, you a broke asshole. You need to get your ass off social media and get to work because you can't afford for the nothing. I mean, the people who follow her and are her Instagram followers know who she is. They subscribe to her because they enjoyed her context and how she presents things. In fact, when I went on the actual post on Instagram, committed fast, right? Because when I went on the actual post, a lot of people were commenting and agreeing with her. The people who follow her were commenting and agreeing with her and saying, yeah man, and even more if you have kids and this, that and the other. And for context, she was talking about a single woman. But like I said, a lot of what she was, some of the stuff that she was talking about were luxuries. But people are like, for example, one of the things she was saying like is to make sure that your light bill is under $10,000. And people are like, my light bill not even my light bill can't come under $10,000, this, that and the other. And it seemed like they felt like it was more of a personal attack to say that they're not doing enough to sustain their life. And I don't really think, I mean, obviously yes, she tell you that you need to put in work, but it wasn't a personal attack. It seemed more like a call to action for her followers, the people who see her stories on a daily, the people who have subscribed to her or followed her for a particular reason. That's what it seemed more like to me. And to me, I mean, someone can, that sound like more of a suggestion and not so necessarily like a this. It sounds like a suggestion to me. I know, say if I come from work, me tired, may I go my bed, may I do whatever I need to do. If it means to read, go on social media, do whatever I need to decompress, may I go do it. Because that is my choice. You can make a suggestion that I should be doing XYZ extra, but at the end of the day, it's just a suggestion. But like I was saying, I don't get why everybody was such. And then a lot of people are like, oh, she's doing it for attention and stuff like that. And I'm just like, she didn't even put it on this platform. I don't even think she used this platform in the first place. That seemed like somebody else, and y'all are the ones who giving her attention until she made it on other media platforms like public media forums, on the radio and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, y'all are the ones who giving her a hype. She never tell them if you look on her post. She never tell nobody if you screenshot her post and put it on Twitter. That seems like a choice to a lot of people, and a lot of people need to realize it's not a personal attack, it's not a personal vendetta, it's not something. She was saying it to her audience, and if it's to her audience, then it's to her audience. Them know why them follow her, them know they choose her for a reason. And if she doesn't align with who you are and what you want, it is simple. There are so many wealth and financial coaches in Jamaica now. We're not limited to one perspective, and we're not limited to one person. If you don't like the person, move on. I just didn't get why there was so much of an uproar. I understood, as I said, I understood the people who were talking about it. You know, it's a part of hustle culture, work, and if it's just hard work alone, but because, you know, you're overworked people and people need to relax and enjoy themselves, and I get that. I honestly get that. But at the same time, the other people, I don't get. It's like the whole tone deaf or that it was offensive. I don't get why it was offensive otherwise. Like, I get the people who are talking about the hustle culture, because we do have a thing where nowadays having multiple streams of income seems like the norm. And like I said, I personally was more upset that the system has made it such that people are working for extended periods of time and are not well compensated. And I feel that that is the main issue here, that people think that they can never achieve that in their lifestyle, in their lifetime, or they have to work for 15-20 years in order for that, when inflation is in double digits and continues to rise expeditiously, and obviously prices are not going to go back down. the prices are not going to go back down. So it's absolutely ridiculous that people are more upset about the post when they really should be upset about the system that has facilitated such an endeavor. The system has facilitated the fact that people cannot afford to live a stable lifestyle without having to overwork themselves. And that, my friends, is more of an issue than the fact that she said $480,000 is the minimum. I mean, that's an opinion. It's not a fact. The fact that people live on minimum wage has made the minimum wage the minimum that someone needs to survive in Jamaica. That was her opinion, and people need to realize that different people have different standards of what they call survival. For most people, it's they can pay their bills, they can get to work, they can eat, they can do whatever. But other people, their survival involves travel. Their survival involves being able to afford certain things. It's life. Everybody have a different minimum. Everybody have a different standard of what they call a minimum. It's just like also an ultra wealthy person cannot fathom that $480,000 is the minimum. That is less than $3,000 US. Or I mean, sorry, that's a little bit over $3,000 US. For some people, that's unfathomable. That is the minimum. For some people, it's unfathomable that is the minimum. So, anyways, I'll see you guys when I reach to work. But that's just my little ramble about that whole situation because I just didn't get the uproar.